Sam Darley here, and tonight I'm going to talk to you about the NBA free agency buzz, the Houston Astros, bullpen issues, and NFL training camps just right around the corner, which means preseason football is around the corner, just about a month and a half away. First, the NBA free agency frenzy. The biggest shocker of all, I thought, was Paul George going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. It re-ups the Oklahoma City Thunder's chances of competing for a championship. This I forget. This is the same team, virtually the same team, excuse me, that Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant took to the Western Conference Finals a couple of years ago against the Golden State Warriors. Of course, they got Oladipo, and then they traded Oladipo, and essentially a bag of chips to get Paul George. A lot of people around the league think this is a one-year rental. I wouldn't be. It would be shocking if he left, to me at least, because I think the Lakers are not as good as the Thunder. I mean, if Paul George really wants to play at home, I think he'll go to the Lakers. But and everybody just assumes that this is going to be a move that will put him with the Lakers. But the one thing I've noticed is that everybody's coming out west, which means the Eastern Conference is a cakewalk again, as if it wasn't already for LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's ridiculous. Look at the talent in the West. The Timberwolves with Towns, Wiggins, and Jimmy Butler, and then the Rockets with Harden and Chris Paul, and now you got Oklahoma City with Westbrook and George. I mean, and then you've got the Golden State Warriors, you got the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, you've got a very tough Western Conference, and then you look in the East, and it's like LeBron James is just sitting there like, oh, I'm gonna have a cakewalk to the finals. And this is why I think it's very disillusional for Cavalier fans to believe that their team is an overall championship contender, because at the end of the day, when you're able to roll through one conference, when there's really no competition, it's really hard to gauge how great your team really is. And they almost got swept out in the finals. So, Houston. So Cleveland's gonna have another easy run to the finals. The Houston Rockets, after acquiring Chris Paul, have kind of died down a little bit. They try to get Carmelo Anthony. According to Twitter and reports, those talks are heating up again. The Rockets, are aware that Carmelo Anthony and Mike D'Antoni didn't clash very well in New York, but they're willing to put it behind them. Of course, they are. There's James Harden. There's Chris Paul. This isn't a D-League level roster that he's going to be going to. This isn't a team that really didn't have much of a chance to compete. This team will have a good shot to compete in the West. They're also talking about, Houston's also talking about getting Andre Iguodala. I think the monkey wrench in all of it is Ryan Anderson's contract. Now, Anderson shoots a lot of threes, but he's not exactly a good rebounder, and he's not a strong defender. And for a guy that really can only shoot threes, he's getting a little bit. He's quite overpaid. So either he takes a pay cut, or the Rockets will try and move his contract, but nobody wants it. I don't blame them. So Houston's got a good chance. I think Minnesota, once they get more seasoning, more experience, and get actually into the playoffs, I think that they're going to be a team to be a force with in the coming years. You've always got the Warriors with Curry and Durant and Clay. They've got contracts coming up too. And you always have to be aware of Greg Popovich, in San Antonio. So San Antonio's still in the mix. San Antonio is trying to unload some of their talent, like LaMarcus Aldridge, Danny Green. They're having no success doing it. They tried to get Chris Paul. That didn't work. So they're really what do we do now, fellas? The thing is, Houston gave up a ton for Chris Paul. And that's my biggest concern of the offseason, is that Houston gave up too much for CP3. I mean, he's one of the best point guards of all time. He is a surefire Hall of Famer. But 32 years old and coming off a pretty injury-plagued season, he's still he's a one-of-a-kind talent. And you do question whether or not Patrick Beverley, Sam Dekker, Montrezl Harrell Um, and Lou Williams. I mean, Lou Williams was hot or cold, but they weren't really consistent. I mean, they were solid producers, but they weren't um, They weren't great producers. You know what I mean? So they weren't consistently great. They were good. They were good coming off the bench. But Houston, I mean, Houston's in the mix. A little Astros up there after last night's bullpen fiasco. Last night, again, I talk about it all the time. Bullpen, bullpen, bullpen. It's why I'm not buying the Astros in a one-run game, a two-run game. I cannot trust any of those relievers to come in and shut down the door. I don't believe in them. It's hard for me. They've got a great record. They're playing in a very weak division, playing against a bunch of teams that are just in over their head trying to compete this year in the Rangers, Angels, and the Mariners and the Athletics. But Houston, I mean, Houston's pitching has gone completely south this month. Their starters have an ERA just above 5, and their bullpen is touching 6 with their ERA, and their innings are almost as much as the starters, which is very alarming. The All-Star break is only 9 or 10 games away. That's going to be huge. But for the Astros to be a legit championship team, they're going to have to get more production from the bullpen. That means less blown leads and more production from the rotation. There is the trade deadline. There are still the talks. The Astros are to acquire Garrett Cole, Chris Archer, Jose Quintana. It's really just about the asking price. I think the best bet is really honestly going to be probably Sonny Gray. He's not going to cost a lot, and if he's healthy, he's still one of the best pitchers in the league. I don't care what you say about his numbers. I don't care what you say about his injuries. The fact is, he's playing on a non-contender, and it's hard not to believe that on a good team that he could not regain his form, because I definitely think he can. I really, really do. So where does that leave the Astros? It's just again, it's really about the asking price. Is Jeff Luhnow going to make the risky move? Is he going to take it? Is he going to take the shot to try and go for the championship now? While he's got Correa, Springer, Altuve, all in the contract, the team friendly contracts, or is he going to just play it safe and hope that the team he's got put together right now is built, to win it right now? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. They're playing the Yankees. They're scoreless with the Yankees. That's game 2 of a 3-game series. The Astros will hit the road for Atlanta and Toronto, and then on to the All-Star break. July means dun 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 dun. Football is almost back, and that only means the Houston Texans training camp is around the corner, and so is preseason. I don't know about you, but I'm getting excited. This year's going to be exciting. I think Deshaun Watson's going to be a starter by week 4, but we'll find out. This has been Sam Darley. Thank you for watching.